Hello, my name's Linda. I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. I'm making another Christmas card today. I'm using the Coming Home again and I'm using Snowman Season for my sentiments. I'm using lots of the designer series paper today, so I'm just going to quickly run through it. I'm using this one, I'm using this one as well, and there's some of the others because they're so pretty, and I'm also using the back of this one. We're making a pop-up book card today, and it's going to be 14.9 centimetres by 14.9 centimetres, and that way we can use a piece of A4 cardstock. So I've already cut my base, and as I said, this is 14.9 and this is the length of a piece of A4 cardstock, and I'm going to start by scoring this, and we're going to score it at 14.9. There we go, and that's our card base. I'm going to quickly show you some of the other pieces I've cut ready. My DSP is 14 by 14 centimetres. The Whisper White is 14.5 by 14.5, and then I have two pieces of Pool Party. One's 14 by 14 and one is 14.5 by 14.5 centimetres. I've already stamped my Merry Christmas, and I've used Misty Moonlight for that. I've used my snow die on this piece of paper. So this started as 8 by 14 centimetres, and I've just run my snow die along there, and then I'm going to flip them over and I'm going to be sticking them together like this. This is going to go on the front of our card. I started this, and really I should have started on camera, but of course I didn't. So this is the piece of DSP that we're using, and it's really pretty, and the dies actually cut out the houses and the trees, which is really handy. On the back of this I've already stuck a piece of self-adhesive sheet, and I'm going to peel the back off of this and I'm going to stick it onto a piece of scrap paper. So it just peels off once you've got it started, and then all of that is covered in sticky, and I'm just going to put that onto a piece of scrap cardstock. And then I'm going to die cut these, and the reason I've done that is just to make them a little bit more robust, and I'm going to be using these on the front of our card. And there you go, I've die cut these all out, and they're quite sturdy now, and I actually want to pop these up on dimensionals or some foam tape. Let's start putting the front of the card together. So I'm starting with my piece of large Pool Party and my designer series paper, and I'm going to stick that just quite simply into the middle of there. I'm going to bring the snow in, and I want this to go at the bottom of my card, obviously, because it's snow. It's not going to be at the top, is it? And I'm going to be sticking that here. I forgot to mention that I've also stamped and coloured a card, and I'm just going to be arranging my houses and my trees. I've set up my design. I decided I needed a additional snowbank, and I've made a larger one to go at the back here, and I've also cut out a couple more trees, but I'm actually going to go ahead and stick this down. I'm going to start by just sticking my snow banks together. I'm just using a snail for this. And I've already made a mistake because I didn't put my glasses on, and I should have done. So I've not got them quite level, but I'm not going to let that worry me. And then we're going to stick this to the front of this card. I've used snail at the top there, and I'm just going to use wet glue down the bottom, and the reason is I don't want my wet glue to show through the top. And because I've got double layer at the bottom, you won't be able to see the glue. And a quick tip, once you've laid your design out, obviously you have to pick everything up again. So I always take a quick picture so I have a rough idea of where I want everything to go. And here is my front of my card. You could actually add a sentiment here. Maybe something in the sky. I was thinking I might put a star on top of my tree, and we would just be sticking this to the front of our card base. So we're actually going to do the middle now. So this is the paper that we're going to be using for the inside of the card. You can get 2 cards, so you can have the top and the bottom of this, and I've cut this at 14.5 centimetres this way and 29.3 centimetres this way. So this is actually going to fit into our card when it's flat, just like this. So you can see it's got a tiny edge going all the way around. I'm going to start with cutting. So we want it to be short side at the top, and we're going to put it on the 3 centimetres. And then we want to come down 5 centimetres. So we're going to be using our blade, but don't cut while you move it. So we want the point to be on the 5 centimetres, and our edge is going to be on the 3 centimetres here. And I want to cut from the 5 to 24. And then I'm going to turn this round and do exactly the same on the other side. So 3 centimetres, and then, whoa, moved it. So 3 centimetres, and then we're going to cut from 24 up to 5 if you've still got your blade in the same place. Okay, and there we have 2 splits here. This is quite scary doing this card, especially when the paper is so pretty, you don't want to muck it up. Now we have our long side at the top, and we're going to put this piece onto 5 centimetres, and we're going to get rid of our blade. Let's get rid of it so we don't do any more cutting. And then we want to come down to where our cut mark is, which is 3 centimetres, and we want to score. So we're scoring from 3 centimetres to 11.5. So we're just scoring inside our cut marks, and then we're going to move that along to 6 centimetres, and we're going to do exactly the same inside the cut marks. So I'm going from 11.5 to 3. So we have 2 score lines here, and then we want to go along to 14.6, and we're going to score right through the middle, and then we're going to turn it round and do the same on the other side. So 5 centimetres, and we're scoring in between our cut lines, and then move it along to 6 and do the same. So far we have a score line down the middle and 2 on the inside of our cuts at each end. Only a tiny bit more scoring to go. So again, long side, we're going to go to 9.5 centimetres this time, and we are going to score not in our cut area but at the top. So up to our cut area, so down to 3, and then from 11.5 down to the bottom. So we've got a score on each side but not in the middle. And let's do that again. So turn it round, 9.5, and we're just scoring on the top 2 pieces and not in the middle. And we've now finished all our scoring and cutting. So we need to do some folding and burnishing. So just on the inside piece, we're going to get this piece going as a valley, and the next score is going to be a mountain. So you can see loads of these cards. I mean, I have not made this card up, it's an old style, but I have done my own measurements here. I couldn't find measurements that I wanted because I wanted to use a piece of A4 cardstock. So there we go, we've got a valley and a mountain, a valley and a mountain. These scores need to be really sharp. Then the middle one is going to be a valley. So now we're going to work on the outside, which has got all curly now. The middle score is going to be a mountain, and that one is a mountain. So far we're looking like this. And then we have the score marks here, and they're going to be valley. I'm just actually burnishing with my fingers at the moment, and then we're going to get our bone folder in and make sure everything's nice and sharp. So we want to be able to fold this shut, so it needs to close up. And now is the time to get our bone folder in and make all of our score lines sharp. And so it's going to open like this. So I have found, you don't have to do this, but I have found it helps. I have just cut some pieces of scrap paper, and this just happens to be Whisper White. And I cut them smaller than my square, and I'm just putting these in the back. And this helps because it makes it a little bit sturdier. And I'm also putting some strips here. I've actually cut some Poppy Parade, and this is what it looks like after, and it just makes it a bit sturdier. So we're going to actually stick this in our card base. So here is our card base, and this is Misty Moonlight. I'm not sure I told you that. Misty Moonlight card base. And we're going to be sticking it on like this, and then it opens and closes like so. So we want to be putting our glue just on this section. I'm going to use wet glue. As I said, I came up with these measurements myself, and to be honest, I'm not that great at maths, but it worked, so I'm quite happy it's worked. So only on this section here. We don't want to put glue on any of these bits, because if we do, they won't pop, and that is the point of the pop-up guard. So I'm going to stick this one down first, and we know roughly where we want it to be, because we know it's got a little edge, a little border going around. And then we need to do the same on the other side. So again, just on this section here. And you should be able to close the card up. I'm not going to risk it because I'm not sure I've cut very well. So I'm going to just put it in like this. And then close it up. And there we go. So you'll find that this score line is the trickiest for closing. So that is why you really need to make sure these ones close well, so that the card closes. It's just a tiny border going around here. And then I'm using the Pool Party and the Whisper White, and I'm actually going to stick the Pool Party to the Whisper White. I'm going to be a little bit out there and have the Pool Party for writing on instead of the Whisper White. I just need to be careful because I am living on the edge. There we go. And then I'm going to stick this to the back, so you can do your write your message on the back of the card. So this is the finished card. I did decide to put a little star up the top there on that tree, and I used all the trimmings embellishments for that. I think you could put something on the inside, maybe cut a couple of squares, put a couple of layers on, and you could put some sentiments on there. And I'm just going to quickly show you, this is the card I made first, so this is my practice run, and this is the top of the paper. And this one I think lends itself to add in some more embellishments, like some trees, maybe a house, etc. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Bye.